Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome or welcome back to Unbound Soul Tarot. My name is Helen and I am thrilled to welcome you to this week's reading, which is going to be super fun. We have this very uplifting pick a card reading where we are going to be diving into your superpower. We are going to find out what is it that makes you special, that makes you unique and makes you distinct from other people. So this is just one of those readings that is hopefully going to really empower you and make you feel better about yourselves, because sometimes we need those kinds of readings too, to help us see the beauty in ourselves and to help us see the kind of the hidden gems that we may not be aware of ourselves. So yeah, hopefully this will help you appreciate yourself more and make you feel really good. But yeah, so we have 4 piles, and the piles that you get to choose from today are as follows. So pile number 1 is this is Bloodstone, the stone that goes with it. For pile number 2 we have Sphalerite. For pile number 3 we have Black Tourmaline. And for pile number 4, we have Lapis Lazuli. So those are your 4 piles. Go ahead, center yourself, take a few deep breaths. You all know how this thing works, or if you don't, then I'm about to tell you anyway, so it's okay. So just take a couple of deep breaths, close your eyes if it makes it easier for you to kind of tune everything out that is around you. And just try and feel into yourself and see what kind of sensations you get from each pile to help you determine which one is the most suitable for you. So yeah, take your time. There's no rush. If you wish to, you can watch several piles. It could be that you resonate with more than one pile. And yeah, whenever you're ready, just go into the description box, or you can also go into the comment section down below and you'll be able to find the timestamps listed there. That will take you right to your section of the reading. So happy choosing, and I will see you guys in just a bit. Hello, pile number 1. You guys chose the Bloodstone. Very earthy, very grounding, and very rooting as well. So yeah, if you are an earth sign, you may very well resonate with it. I feel like especially Capricorns out there, all of you Capricorns out there are probably going to really resonate with this stone. It's also very much attached to money as well. So yeah, that's just some extra info there. But anyway, yeah, as you see, we have some extra cards on the table here as well that we are going to go through to give us a more well-rounded picture of you and what kind of special traits you have. So yeah, lots of interesting things to go through here, but we are going to start with the, but we are going to start with your current strengths that you are already aware of. So that's the first part of the reading. Now, just a quick disclaimer, please always use your discernment as you're watching this reading. If I say something that doesn't really resonate with you, it's, you know, it doesn't have to talk about you, because this is a general reading. So I'm channeling messages for lots of people, and if something doesn't really sound true for you, that's absolutely fine. You can just let it pass you by. But if you are interested in getting a personal reading with me, you can check the description box and you'll be able to book a reading with me via the Etsy store link that I have listed there. But having said that, let's jump right in. So, I had a feeling that we were going to get one of those special cards from this deck. This is the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit deck. And there are some special cards here, and we're going to, of course, talk about them because this is part of the reading. But yeah, I kind of had an inkling. And I also feel like it's kind of similar to the Bloodstone, even though it's green, not black, but it kind of looks similar. Okay, let's see what else. Okay, we also have Scribe. We also have Hunger, Oh, we have soulmates and embracing. Okay. So pile number one, what I feel about you is that I get a feeling that you're the kind of person who is not afraid to express what you are feeling, what you are thinking, what you need from someone, or what you want from someone. It feels like there is just a lot of this confidence within yourself, even if it is not on like all levels, because we all, of course, have like different circumstances and situations where we don't always feel confident and when we don't always feel super self-assured. And that's only human, but for the most part, I feel like you are someone who doesn't shy away from expressing themselves. And I feel like it's one of the things that actually allows you to really connect with other people, because you make it like really easy for other people to kind of level with you. It makes it really easy for other people to understand you, what you need from them, where you're coming from, and all that kind of stuff. So like communication might be something where you really thrive. You may actually get like compliments from people, or people may tell you that, you know, you are someone who is like really easy to talk to, or that you're like someone who is very understanding, or who like gives off this trustworthy vibe, because it's like you give this sort of assuring presence. And I kind of feel like it comes from this genuine desire within you to truly get to know others. It feels like there is this hunger within you to actually truly reach other people. You may not be someone who is very like surface level. You may be someone who doesn't actually like chit chat and like these shallow and kind of fake pleasantries that don't really have a lot of substance to them, that people just say for the sake of saying them. I feel like you're not really into all of that. I feel like when you want to get to know someone, or when you connect with someone, when you talk to someone, it feels like you are much more interested in actually getting to the bottom of what that person is like, what makes them tick, what makes them them. There is much more depth to the way that you associate yourself with other people, or that the way that you make connections with other people. And I also feel that there is a lot of like compassion within you, a lot of emotion, and a lot of understanding. Again, the word understanding for some reason keeps popping up. It may not just be like you being interested in finding out about other people, but I feel like you are also very much invested in finding out who you truly are, and doing a lot of like work on yourself. And I feel a lot of inner strength with you, especially with this embracing card. You seem to be someone who knows what life is about, who knows how life goes, and you kind of take the ebb and the flow aspects of it. It's like you accept them both, and you are able to deal with both in equal measure, because you know that sometimes the valuable nuggets are hidden in something that is very unpleasant on the surface. And I feel like you're very well aware of that, which is what allows you to kind of go after things and achieve things, even if they are challenging, even if they are somewhat scary. You go after the things you want anyway. So I get the feeling that, as I was saying before, with the resilience and the inner power that I feel that is rather strong with you, the sort of the desire is just so strong in you that you are not really one to give up very easily. You're not one to accept defeat. So I'm kind of getting the feeling that there is a beautiful balance of this like fieriness within you, but also this intellectual capability where you're able to like make the most of those two worlds. You're able to combine them in a very profitable way. So yeah, you may actually be someone who like is able to achieve like material success or financial success, or maybe you have done that already. But if you haven't really achieved all of your goals just yet, then I kind of feel like you are working your way towards that. And again, I'm kind of feeling the association with the gemstone that you chose, the Bloodstone, because as I said, it is very physical, it is very tangible, it's very earthy, and it is very tightly connected to Capricorn, which is that sign of ambition and achievement and going after your goals and reaching ever higher limits. So it feels like that's the kind of energy with you as well, simply because there is this element that is coming through where you're able to overcome the difficulties or the troubling, the more challenging periods, because you know that what is waiting for you on the other side is worth it. And again, I get the sense that you have this magical ability to work with other people in a very meaningful way, because you know how to connect with them on that like soul level, regardless of whether we're talking about like romantic relationships or platonic relationships or otherwise. It's just that you have this skill, and that skill to relate to other people and to connect with them, as well as express yourself in a way that you do, is what also helps you kind of get further and actually reach your desired results and reach your goals. So this is, yeah, there are some fairly good strengths coming out already, and if you could resonate to some of them or all of them, then you are definitely watching the right pile. And now that we have gotten our picture in place somewhat, we are going to dive into your actual superpower and what you can do with it. So what we're going to do is we're going to first look at what it is that makes you special. We're then going to see when or where that special trait of yours most often emerges. And lastly, we're going to see how you can utilize it in the best way to express your fullest potential. So let's see. Okay, we have play, have fun, celebrate, don't be so serious. We also have truth and the star. Oh, okay. Let me think how I can. I'm gonna have to kind of squeeze those up a bit. Okay. We have the initiation, rite of passage, crossing the threshold, movement, choices, decisions, and 9 of Swords. And finally, we have protection, call back your power, cut the cords, soul retrieval. Interesting that you have another soul coming through. We have throat chakra, which is what this black egg is associated with as well. And we have Queen of Pentacles. So sorry that I kind of got lost in the messages, but yeah, I was supposed to kind of talk about this card a bit. So yeah, this card does talk about the throat chakra. It's associated with the throat chakra in this deck, and it talks about truth, personal truth. So it's interesting that you're getting that kind of come out over here as well. Okay, let me try and scoop those up a bit. So let's talk about your superpower. It's interesting that you're getting another card of truth or another card of like expressing yourself. And I feel like one of your like superpowers, the one thing that makes you really special is that you know how to see past the difficulties of life. I feel like it's like you have this ability to not take life that seriously. Because as I was talking about before, it's like, you know how life works. You kind of have a very good and a very grounded approach in that sense, where it's like, you know that there are easier times when life is more in flow, and then there are times when you are faced with more obstacles and challenges and lessons. And the obstacles and challenges and lessons that may slow other people down or that may get other people stuck in certain places, I feel like it's like you hit your stride. Is that the right expression? It's like you, how should I say it? It's like you know how to roll with the punches, you know how to overcome those situations, and you know how to not get stuck in them, because you know what is on the other side of it. You know that there are easier times ahead. You know that there is going to be a period of moving upwards again. So the essence of hope, the essence of holding on to faith and holding on to a deeper knowing of something good is kind of what allows you to pull through, what allows you to make your way through these more difficult and challenging situations. And I kind of feel like that energy is also what makes you so kind of attractive to other people as well, because not only do you know how to apply that to your own life and to your own circumstances, but I feel like you also know how to give that to other people, how to make other people see things from a deeper vantage point as well. So it's almost like you have this uplifting presence, or this very assuring presence. And as I was saying before, you know, how other people may be coming up to you and saying how it's like really easy to talk to you and it's really easy to connect with you. And I feel like it's because you kind of have this ability to take the edge off, to relieve stress or to relieve any tensions. It's like when other people are with you, they just feel less worried, they feel less burdensome, they feel less bogged down by their life and by their problems or whatever they're going through, because there is this deeper essence of just enjoying life and accepting it for what it is, that allows you to, again, to kind of see things from a higher point of view. You may be a person who really thrives in like difficult situations, and you use those as like stepping stones to push yourself forward, or to elevate yourself, or to force your journey forward. I just heard accelerate as well. So some of you may actually like have an accelerated growth period or growth spurt when you go through something challenging and like something that usually people struggle with. So I feel like that's something that you may not even realize that is your superpower, that is what makes you special, but it truly is, because it's not easy to not get bogged down by the problems and the issues and the difficulties in life, but you somehow manage to do it. And you also manage to, again, create that sense of ease in others as well. But the interesting thing here is this middle section here, because that's why I feel like difficulties may be a point where you really strive, because of all of these cards over here. We have the Rite of Passage, crossing the threshold, movement, choices, decisions, and the Nine of Swords. So that's that kind of energy of like being tested, being pushed by life, by the universe, to make some sort of changes in your life, or to cross the threshold into a new area or into a new way of being that you haven't really experienced before. Like those kinds of situations that the majority of people really freak out about, because they are just not prepared. They don't know how to be prepared, and it's not really possible to be prepared for something you have no experience in. But it feels like those really, really stressful situations where several aspects of you are being tested at the same time. That's where I feel like your superpower really comes out and shines, and really allows you to kind of push through those testy liminal spaces. And again, I feel like it allows you to not get stuck in your own head with this Nine of Swords here. because it's like you see how those situations are places or ways for you to grow, ways for you to become more adaptable and expand your skill set even more. And again, I almost feel like there is just so much trust and faith in yourself, not just life, but within yourself, that allows you to go through these difficult situations. And so I'm not really surprised that that's the energy that is coming through for when your superpower truly shines. But now moving on to this last section over here, where we have this protection and throat chakra and Queen of Pentacles. So I feel like the one thing that you may wish to consider, because honestly, like, I feel like you are already utilizing your superpower in a very powerful way. We kind of already saw that from your strengths and from all of the kind of the intro part that we were going through before. But I feel like the only thing that you could really utilize better is like self-preservation and protection, to ensure that your truth and that your point of view is like untainted, or remains untainted. Because I kind of get the feeling that if you are this ray of light in a pool of darkness, because let's be real, there are not that many people who are able to like see difficult situations as like positive things, or you know, that they're not easy, that they're not able to deal with them as easily. That's why this is a superpower. That's why this is a rarity of yours. So if you are a ray of light in a pool of darkness where the most people are negative and really pessimistic, or surrounded by fear, surrounded by doubt and insecurity and all that, it's very difficult to keep your energy vibrating on this really high level and not get sucked down, or not get, you know, sucked into that darkness. So I feel like with this Queen of Pentacles especially, that there is a need to really safeguard your energy, to make sure that you allow your vibration to keep vibing on this higher frequency. So that's why I feel like both the Queen of Pentacles and this protection card are coming out. It's important to keep those beautiful, special aspects of you safe, so that, again, they wouldn't get drowned out by all of the negativity. So I feel like, generally speaking, you're kind of doing everything right here. The only thing that you want to pay attention to is making sure that you keep up your like spiritual practices, your self-care practices, to keep that viewpoint of yours vibrating high. And if you feel like someone is demanding too much of you, or someone is like being overly dependent on you, or it's developing into some sort of like unhealthy codependency thing, then I feel like there needs to be like certain boundaries put in place as well. Because as I said, I feel like your energy is very attractive to others, and people may kind of gravitate towards you because of your strength and because of your like very comforting energy. But again, it may become like too overwhelming for you at one point, if there are other people who are coming to kind of rely on you too much as well, you know, if that makes sense. So just, yeah, I feel like you're really doing everything super, super well. Just make sure that you are not stretching yourself too thin, and that you are taking care of your energy and of your spiritual practices, so that you could keep your energy cleansed of any negative influences and vibrating on that beautiful high level that it is. But yeah, pile number one, I'm gonna leave it here. I don't want these readings to be super long this time. That's what I tend to do generally. So we're gonna cut it off here. But thank you so much. I really hope that you enjoyed this reading. It was really fun for me, and I hope that it was fun for you too. And if you resonated with this, if if this sounded like you, then definitely let me know in the comment section down below. And also don't forget to leave me a thumbs up and of course subscribe if you haven't done that already and if you would like to join me for future readings too. But please take care of yourselves, pile number one. I hope you have an amazing rest of the day, night or morning or wherever you are in the world and whatever it is that you are having. And I hope to see you guys very soon in my next reading. Bye bye. Hello, pile number two. You guys chose the Sphalerite stone, which I'm going to promptly leave on the side here somewhere. And yeah, we're going to dive into this heap of cards over here. But if you have been watching the pick a card readings that I do before, then you may already know that I like to start my readings off with some groundwork first before we jump into what your actual superpower is and all of that good stuff. We're just going to find out about the strengths that you already are aware of that you possess. So yeah, this reading is solely going to be focused on very positive things and very positive aspects about you. So that's what we're doing. And just a quick disclaimer, please remember that this is still a general reading, okay? So I'm channeling messages for a lot of you, and if something that I say comes through that doesn't resonate with you, that's fine. You can just leave it be and take the parts that really do resonate with you. If you want a personal reading with me, you can do that by going into the description box and clicking on the Etsy link down below. But let's get into you. Ooh, we're starting off with Hawk. Okay, we also have Dilettante. Not sure I pronounced that right. We have Discernment. Oh, we also have All That Glitters. And finally we have Love. Oh, okay. It's kind of funny. I'm sort of noticing a certain similarity between your pile and pile number one. But anyway. Okay, so I kind of feel like one of the main strengths that you have, pile number two, is that you are able to see through bullshit as clear as day. I feel like you just have this like very penetrating eye and a very like penetrating perception when it comes to life and other people and maybe even yourself. But for some reason I feel like mainly the focus is on like your external reality, and you're just really good at like pinpointing different things that maybe other people may miss, or like seeing through some sort of veil, or seeing through some sort of illusions that other people may be presenting. And I feel like that kind of thing just doesn't fly with you. I almost want to say like whatever you do for a living and whatever your passion is, I feel like you would be really, really good at like any kind of detective work or like interrogator work, or even like maybe like, okay, if we dial it back a bit and go a bit like softer, like therapists and psychologists and counselors and like anything to do with talking to people and getting to the bottom of things, and maybe even like helping other people see their own truth or see the reality of something and see their own like veils of bullshit that they may be presenting and maybe not even, that they may not even be aware of. So that's just something kind of a side point for you to think about. If you already know what your passion is in life and what you want to do, that's absolutely fine. But maybe if you haven't really like found it yet, those kinds of areas may really be something where you thrive in. But because of this love card over here, It feels like you're not just able to like see through any kind of lies or veils of deception or anything like that, but I also feel like the way that you present what it is that you know, or the way that you reveal truth is very like gentle and very loving and very kind of soft. It's not just that like, you know, if someone kind of comes up to you and you know that they're lying, that you're just going to confront them about it and make them feel really shitty about it and like create this like very tense and awkward and hostile environment. But I feel like you do it in a very clever way. You almost like coax the truth out of people, or you like gently help them see what they are maybe not able to see themselves. So it's a very interesting energy that I feel with you, pile number 2. I get the sense that you have a very strong personality and a very like well-developed personality, meaning you know what you know and you know what you feel, and I feel like there aren't a lot of times when you really question that, because I feel like this very deep connection to between you and between your senses, or between you and like your body, your intuition. I feel a very strong connection there, which kind of helps you make your decisions and that kind of guides you forward in life. Which is why I feel like the shiny things and the like fake pretenses and those kinds of things don't really fly with you, or they don't really like fool you, because you are relying on something much more deep and skillful than your eyes. You know, you're kind of seeing things with something much deeper. And so I feel like another very important strength is that you kind of go through life from your heart space. And it's not to say that you're not using your mind, of course. We can't really escape our minds, but I feel like you allow your heart to guide you, and you allow what it is that you feel to really speak to you, and you acknowledge it rather than like ignoring it. I also kind of feel like you are not someone who is easily swayed or easily manipulated into anything. So yeah, you may be kind of someone who follows their own path or follows their own trail and doesn't really, you know, fall in with the masses, because you're just kind of, you're doing your own thing, and you know why you're doing your own thing. You know why you are following your own path, and I feel like you don't have that level of insecurity that maybe urges a lot of people to be part of the mainstream or try and fit in somewhere where they maybe do not naturally fit in, but it just, you know, offers them a sense of comfort or a sense of safety. But I almost get the sense that you don't really need that, because you have this safety or this reliance on yourself within you. Yeah, that's kind of what I feel for you, pile number 2. And if you like resonate with these strengths, and if you recognize them within yourself, then you are definitely watching the right pile, and we can just go right ahead and look at your superpower more closely. So the way that this is going to go is that we're going to first look at what it is that makes you special, what your superpower is. We're then going to see where or when that superpower most often emerges for you, and then we're going to see how you can better utilize it to either make a difference or to express your fullest potential. So let's see. Okay, we have Council of Light, Divine Orchestration, Helpers in the Subtle Realms. Oh, we also have Spiritual Strength. Yeah, wow. And we have the Fool. Okay, really, really cool energies coming through. Okay, we have Anna, Grandmother of Jesus, Seeding the Light, Laying Foundations, Divine Plan. Okay, a lot of divine energy coming through. We also have Firm Foundation. And we have the 8 of Wands. Okay, I need to kind of squeeze those up because otherwise we're going to run out of room. And finally we have no, wait, postpone, pause, say no. We also have the waiting game. Oh my God, this is crazy. And we have Queen of Wands. Okay. Okay, so let's start with your superpower, which is really, really cool. And I kind of feel like I want to say a special hi to all of my like fellow light workers, because that's the energy that I'm feeling here, truly. I feel like what your superpower is that you have the you have a very special connection to the divine, to the spiritual realm. And it kind of like makes sense, because when I was talking about your strengths before, as I said, I feel that there is this very deep connection that you have within your body, where you're very in tune with your senses. And that's kind of, it kind of feels like it's part of the reason for that is that you are here to do some spiritual healing and help elevate the collective. So if you are resonating with being a light worker and or maybe even being a starseed or something like that, then yeah, it feels like that is definitely some sort of special skill or special gift that was given to you for this lifetime, because it's something that is going to help you fulfill your mission on this planet during your lifetime. And with this helpers in the subtle realms, it feels like there is a lot of energetic support around you who is aiding you in doing this work and helping to make the changes in life that are needing to happen. So as I said, it felt kind of weird that this love card was here, or it was like a very softening energy. And that's why I was kind of like perplexed by it a bit, because everything else was like very kind of intellectual and just again seeing very clearly. But now with this superpower of yours, it makes total sense. So I kind of feel like I don't really even have to explain it too much and dive too deep into it, because I feel like it's something that you know. But I just feel like it may be good to kind of reassure you just how special that connection is that you have, because I feel like the thing that makes you special is that you have a very, how should I say, like a very pure take or a very pure vision of the world, which is clearly like balanced out by this very strong persona, this very strong personality that you have. So that strength that you possess is actually what is allowing you to kind of push forward this very truthful, very honest, very innocent way of seeing the world, and this clarity that I kept talking about, because it does feel like it's a very important part of you and of your mission is to bring clarity and to help usher in a new time with the Fool here, to help usher us as a collective into a new time, into a more spiritually aware and into a more high level realm and existence. And that's what you're doing. That's what your superpower is. And that's why you are so in tune. That's why you are able to have this penetrating vision and this very clear perception of things. And that's why you are so in tune with your senses that help guide you, because you really need that to help others see the world too in a more clear and in a more honest way. And I also find it funny that that I kept feeling this like focus on the external world with you. And with the light worker thing, it makes just a lot of sense. But yeah, we're kind of moving on in a very logical manner with you as well, with the Honor Grandmother of Jesus and Firm Foundation and Eight of Wands. Because again, we have foundation, the word foundation coming out twice with this laying foundations, and I think it was, yeah, divine plan. So clearly your superpower is coming out in the process of ushering us forward, right? With the Eight of Wands, ushering us forward into the new and a more elevated frequency that we are moving into as a collective, and that we are kind of starting to live in more and more. And again, you are part of laying this foundation, building this new ground for us. Because I mean, I honestly feel like everything that I'm saying is just so unnecessary, because you know all of it, because you are a light worker, and you can very easily feel the energies, and you're very well aware of the changes that we're going through on a collective level, and the divine orchestration, the divine plan, your superpower plays a very crucial role in that. So yeah, this this just feels like it's kind of stating the obvious, which is why I'm not gonna, stop and focus on this for too much. But the one thing that I do feel is really interesting here, though, and that actually may be useful to you, is this last section over here, which is letting you know how you can better utilize your special power, right? And you get two cards of like waiting, and then you have this Queen of Wands, right? So I kind of feel like you may have a tendency to want to like speed things up or push things along, and maybe you may feel as though things are moving too slowly at times, and you may feel the urge to do more and to be more and to, grow and develop more, maybe within yourself, but also to like, you may want to like speed up the process of making other people see things for what they truly are. So you may be like at times lacking patience in that process. But I kind of feel like that's what Spirit is saying here. That you may be trying to like get too much too soon, and it may just be something that is eventually going to start draining your energy too much, and it may, become kind of harmful for you or not very healthy for you. And that's why it's best to kind of flow with the process more and have more patience. And I know, like, trust me, I know the word patience is almost like a trigger word now, and it really pisses some people off, and trust me, I completely understand that that kind of feeling. But honestly, that's truly what is kind of being recommended here. Go with the flow more, and maybe slow your roll every now and then when you feel like you are trying to achieve too much, or where you're kind of losing your patience. Because it is like this whole process that we are in, it is going to take years and years and years, and there really isn't any way of like speeding it up. So yeah, for the sake of like reserving your own energy, and for the sake of making this process more easy for you, watch yourself when you feel like you are trying to do too much, and allow yourself the time to kind of look after your own needs as well, and to maybe put some boundaries in place, and take some time off if you need to. Yeah, I mean, honestly, wow, this was kind of a cool reading, pile number 2. If you resonated with being a light worker and doing very, very important energetic work to help elevate us to a more high level energy, then I truly commend you. And it's not easy. It's not easy, definitely not easy, but it's very admirable. And I hope that you see the gifts that you possess as gifts, even though I know that sometimes they can be kind of draining as well. But I hope that you had fun watching this reading and that it made you feel better about your special traits. And if that was the case, I would love it if you let me know by leaving me some feedback. I would love to hear from you in the comment section, or if you don't really want to talk about your life too much, you can also give me a thumbs up. And of course, if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe so that we could hang out in the future and do more cool readings. But yeah, if I don't see you in any of the other piles, please take care of yourselves, pile number 2, and I hope to see you very soon in one of my next readings. Bye bye. Hello, pile number 3. You guys chose the black tourmaline stone, one of my favorites for sure. And yeah, I'm gonna put it somewhere over here. And this is your reading. So yeah, as you can see, we have once again got quite a bunch of cards here that we need to go through for this reading, but we are going to start off with a chunk of oracle cards first, and we're going to leave these cards over here for later, because first we're going to have a look at your strengths that your character or your personality has that you are already aware of. So this is just going to help you make sure that you are watching the right pile, and it's just going to lay a nice foundation for the reading. But yeah, don't forget that this is still a general reading, okay? So if I'm channeling some messages that don't really apply to you, that's fine. You can just let them be and only take the parts that do resonate for you. And if you are interested in getting a personal reading with me, you can do that by going into the description box and clicking on the Etsy store link down below. But yeah, having said all of that, let's get into your reading. Oh my goodness. Okay, what is this? We have Eagle. Oh my God, I'm just, seriously? Again, I'm having flashbacks to pile number 2 already. We have Guide as the other card that is coming out. Okay, hang on. I'm gonna fidget around with the cards. I already want to warn you. Oh, we also have Nourishment. Okay, we have Chaos and Conflict, number 33. Wow, master number. And we have Going Forward. Okay. Okay, so the one thing I feel like I want to say straight off the bat here, pile number 3, is that I feel like you're someone who is really good at like solving situations and mediating difficult situations where like other people who are a part of that situation don't really know how to handle things by themselves. So it's almost like you are the person that kind of automatically takes hold of those kinds of tricky instances, and you just know how to work through them and what is needed to resolve whatever's happening and progress on from there. So it's like very action oriented and very solution oriented energy that I'm feeling with you, pile number 3. There's a lot of wisdom as well. And I mean, we do have this master number here, and we have the Eagle, who is an air element, clearly. And we also have this guide energy, right? This guide archetype. So there is a lot of this wisdom and just like emotional intelligence that I'm feeling with you. You just know, I feel like you just have answers that I feel like other people really struggle with, but you for some reason find it rather easy, or it's almost like it kind of comes naturally to you to see a way out and to guide other people out of certain situations as well. But I also feel like you have the ability to kind of go after what you need as well. It's not just that you are like being this mediator or this support element for other people, but I feel like you just kind of seem to have your shit together in a way, where it's like you can very well look after your own needs, and because of that, I feel like you have the capacity to look after other people's needs too. Or there is almost this like protective energy that I feel about you. And it makes a lot of sense with the black tourmaline stone here, because it is a lot, it has a lot to do with protection. That's what a lot of people use it for, to like banish negative energies and to cleanse their space and to keep their energy safe. And I kind of feel like that's the energy that you have yourself, or that's the energy that you give off to other people, where they may feel really safe with you. I feel a lot of success with you as well. I feel like you allow yourself to have what it is that you want, and like not hold yourself back is kind of the energy that I'm feeling. And it's something that I even though we haven't even looked at your superpower just yet, I feel like it's something that is very unique. Because, you know, there are so many people who have certain like very deeply rooted issues that that make them hold themselves back, or that make them, you know, fear taking risks, or that keep them stuck in certain situations and that don't allow them to grow. And that maybe even don't allow them to like go after their dreams, because maybe on some deeper level they feel that they don't deserve those dreams, they don't deserve to have those things. But with you, I feel like you don't really have that. Or even if there are some sort of like internal conflicts at some times or in some instances, then I feel like you just have the ability to work through them, and you're still able to like give yourself what it is that you need to be happy, to feel fulfilled, and you're like, you ultimately end up going after what it is that you want. So there's a lot of progression and there is a lot of success that I feel for you. I feel like there may be an energy around you that causes a lot of envy in others, or yeah, it almost feels like this polarizing energy where there are a lot of people who are drawn to you because of how strong, and I also feel like there is a lot of masculine energy coming through. That doesn't mean that you need to be a male yourself, but there is just a lot of this protective masculine energy coming through that draws a lot of people in, because you have this strength. But there is another like group of people who kind of are who are maybe like put off by that, because you mirror back their own like insecurities and their own limits to themselves, which is why you may be acting like a trigger to some people, and you may be causing a lot of like envy and jealousy in others. But honestly, yeah, this is really badass energy. I just have to say, I feel like you're a very badass kind of person, and you're just like really like extremely capable is what I want to say. Yeah. So there's this like very almost like this elderly wisdom energy, and I'm not saying that you are old by any means, but you know, it's the energy that I'm feeling with you is just kind of feeling like that very experienced and very worldly and very like well-rounded intellectual person. Like that's the kind of energy that I get from you. So if you are resonating with some of those traits or all of those traits, then you are clearly watching the right pile. And let's look at the more of the specifics of your superpower now. So the way that we're going to go is that we're going to first start off with what it is that makes you special. Then we're going to see when or where that special trait of yours most often emerges. And finally, we are going to see what you can do to utilize this superpower so that you could fully express your potential, or so that you could make a difference. So let's see. We have Imrama. Where are you being called to journey to? Okay, we also have temptation. Oh, okay, that is so crazy. And we have shadow work, because this card over here is like the devil card in traditional tarot. And we have shadow work, which is very closely associated with the devil card at times. So it's interesting. it's interesting. We'll talk about that. But let's see what else. We have answer the call. What is your soul calling you to do? Okay, I need to scoop those up because trust me, we are going to run out of space very quickly here. We also have material and spiritual prosperity. Yeah, that's the prosperity that I was talking about, the success and all that. And we have 8 of Cups. And finally, we have transformation. Things are changing at a cellular level, deep healing. Passion ignited. And 6 of Wands. So the feeling that I have with you, pile number 3, is that I'm going through these messages, but it almost feels like you already have such a good grip on things, or that you are so capable, that I almost get this like feeling that I don't even know why I'm doing this reading and whether you really need it. But I'm gonna go through the cards anyway, just to reinforce the message and the knowing within you, and just to make you realize how badass you truly are, okay? So we're doing this. We're starting off with the first 3 cards, right? The section that is talking about what it is that makes you special. And with these 3 cards, it is very, very clear and evident to me that you are able to notice and to acknowledge and to pinpoint your own shortcomings, your own limitations that, again, I feel like other people may really get stuck in, or they may be like more easily oblivious to, but you seem to have this ability to see through those things. You have the ability to not allow your doubts, or not allow these maybe these like shadowy traits within you, because we all have a shadow, right? We all have a shadow, and it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just something that we need to kind of explore and become more familiar with. But I feel like the issue for most people is that they get kind of trapped by their shadow and they are not aware of it. But I feel like you are very aware of your shadow. And that's why you are able to push forward. That's why you are able to go after what it is that you need and what it is that you want, and kind of just achieve all of these things, is because you are not allowing your shadow to hold you back. It's like you know how to fight and you know how to overcome these limitations that you may have on some certain levels. So that's like, it's probably like one of the most powerful things that you can have, because it's something that is really going to take you forward in this life. And clearly we can see that from the strengths that we were already talking about as well. But yeah, I just felt like I needed to emphasize how special it is that you are able to do that, and that you are able to like acknowledge these traits within you and notice these shortcomings within you, and at the same time like not get stuck in them, not let them hold you back. It's a very, very, very big thing, and it's not something that very many people are capable of doing, at least not without making a lot of effort and working a lot on themselves. So yeah, I don't know what else to say about that over here, because honestly, moving on, it's very clearly, again, it's very evident with these cards, with the 8 of Cups, with the material and spiritual prosperity, and what is your soul calling you to do. It feels like it's very clear that the moments when this superpower of yours to break through your own limits, or not let your limits or the shadowy aspects of you to hold you back, it's very clear that it's coming through in instances where you feel that you want to achieve something, when you feel that you want to go after something, where when your soul is calling you to do something, right, it again feels like you're kind of more in tune with your higher self and with your spiritual team, or with God, whoever you resonate with. And it's like you are operating from that point of view rather than like your lower self, or rather than your, again, those more ego driven points where people get kind of stuck, and where they start living in fear, right? When they get bogged down by fear. I feel like the reason you're able to overcome that, well, mainly it's your superpower, right? It's one of the gifts that you were given in this lifetime, but I also feel like it's very clearly coming through when you feel the need, or when you feel the call to do something, and it may involve a certain level of risk, as we see here with the Ace of Cups, and you're kind of forced to go after into the unknown, and to go after what it is that you want, to achieve your abundance, to achieve your prosperity. And I feel like that's when your superpower comes out the strongest, where you're able to push through any of your own doubts, or any of your own like insecurities that you may be having for like a fraction of a minute. Or maybe even longer as well. It doesn't really matter how long that moment for you is, but I just feel that the fact that you are able to push through them, and like go ahead and do the thing anyway, even if you may feel a bit scared, or even if you may feel like you don't have anything else to go off of but like your intuition, your instinct, and your self-belief, your self-trust. That's like something massive. And again, that's not something that a lot of people can do. And honestly, like the kind of like the advice section of this reading here, which is this portion of the cards, I feel like you are already utilizing your superpower in the way that you are kind of meant to. You're using it to the best of its capacity. And that's kind of what I feel like the cards here are saying as well, that you're doing a lot of healing on yourself, and you're constantly like improving yourself, and like working through these shadowy aspects of yours to keep progressing, to keep improving, and to keep reaching higher and higher levels. So you're kind of doing it, and I feel like what Spirit is saying here is to just keep doing it, and to keep achieving, and to keep following your passion. But the one thing that I do want to say with this transformation here is that it may be an idea or a suggestion for you to maybe try and again guide other people to kind of follow your lead more as well. Because as I said, I feel like there may be a lot of people who are kind of gravitating towards you because of your very palpable energy, but rather than like constantly solving people's problems for them, or constantly like helping them out in that way, I feel like the one way that you could also utilize your superpower is by kind of teaching them how to be more like that, or how to kind of start doing the healing within themselves. So I almost get this like teacher vibe in a way, which is weird because none of those cards really are talking about a teacher kind of energy, but I kind of get that intuitively here, where you could like show an example or share your superpower in that way, you know, to help other people maybe start breaking through their own limits, rather than coming to you and relying on you to help them work through their stuff. But generally, again, I feel like you are already doing everything that you need to do, and you're doing a very, very amazing job. So there is a lot for you to be proud of, and to feel really good about yourself, because it is probably like, not to like compare the readings and stuff like that, because I don't really want to do that, but it's just too evident that I feel like your superpower is it feels like the hardest to achieve or the hardest to do, and like working through the shadow is something that most people struggle with their whole lives. So I feel like this ability for you to like take a deep dive and surface from going through these shadowy traits and working through your limitations and not letting them hold you back is something to really, really celebrate. But yeah, I'm gonna leave it here, pile number 3. I really enjoyed this reading, and again, you are a badass, don't forget that. If you resonated with this reading, definitely let me know in the comment section or by giving me a thumbs up, and of course don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done that already. I would love to hang out with you in the future as well. But yeah, if I don't see you in any of the other piles, please take care of yourselves, and I hope to see you guys very soon in my next reading. Bye-bye. Hello, pile number 4. You guys chose the Lapis Lazuli stone, which is definitely one of my all-time favorite gemstones. Very like divine energy and very intuitive energy, very feminine energy as well. Very like goddessy. But yeah, this is your reading. So this reading is all about like very positive and uplifting energy, because we're just going to be focusing on your strengths and your superpower. But we're going to get into your superpower in just a bit, because first, as you may very well know, I like to start my readings out with some general overview first. So we are going to look at the strengths that you already are aware of that you possess. And that way you can kind of validate the reading for yourself, or make sure that you are watching the right pile, and that you should keep watching to find out what your superpower is. But just a quick notion before we get into the cards, this is still a general reading, okay? So please don't forget to use your intuition and your discernment as you're watching this reading. If anything that I say doesn't sound like it's talking about you, just leave it be and take the parts that resonate. And if you are interested in getting a personal reading with me, you can do that by going into the description box down below and clicking on the Etsy store link. But let's see, what are we dealing with here? Okay, we're starting off with Fire Ant. Very interesting. Oh, we also have Hermit. Okay, we also have Balance. Oh, and Blessed. Okay, and last but not the least, we have Flexibility. Okay, so just bear with me a sec. I'm trying to get them to be somewhat straight. Okay, so what I want to say for you, pile number 4, is that I get a very like a very calming and a very soothing energy about you, which is strange because the main card in the middle is Fire Ant, which is very fiery, and as you can probably see from the image as well, it's very like there's a lot of movement going on. It's very busy and just there's a lot going on. But for some reason, I feel like one of your strengths is dealing with your emotions in a very like a very grown up and a very advanced kind of way. It's like you know how to deal with whatever is happening within you or whatever is happening outside of you. But it's like you have the ability to not lose your shit when something kind of hits the fan, and rather than like freak out and do something very impulsive, or just because you need to kind of let something out, you have the ability to keep a very level-headed approach with this balance here, and to kind of work with the situation. Regardless of like how old you are, one of your strengths as a person is to see things and to like react to things from a very wise place. There is this side of you that knows how to like compartmentalize these different things that are happening and these different things that you are feeling. I almost get the sense that like you have a way of dealing with situations in a very creative manner. And it's allowing you not to like get swept up in anything, to not let your emotions or to not let your impulses kind of like get the better of you. And I also feel that one of the things that like you have the ability to do is to see things from a higher point of view. And I feel that with this blessed card here, it's almost like when something happens that maybe triggers a lot of people, it's like you have the ability to see it from a rather unique point of view, or where other people may be very stuck, or they start like focusing in on the surface level things and like everything that is apparent. You have the ability to see through the deeper levels of something, or to see through the true meaning of something, and like find out the lesson in that, or find out the deeper purpose of that, like why something had to happen, or why it may be good for something. So it's like with this blessed card here, again, it feels like you have this calming effect on people, because rather than getting stuck in the panic or the initial emotions, the initial reactions that maybe most people get, you have the ability to see certain things as blessings, even if they don't look that way to the naked eye straight off the bat. So there is something very spiritual about you. And I feel like that kind of energy is something that like you have a lot of influence, or like your energy could potentially have a very positive influence on a lot of other people. And I feel like your presence is something that is capable of like putting out fires in some very complex and very like triggering situations. So you may find yourself kind of being pushed into that role at times, or maybe even quite often, because you just have that kind of energy and it comes to you very naturally to help calm people down and to help soothe or smooth the situation over, whatever it may be. But I also feel like that creativity is very much present in the way that you deal with your own emotions too, which is why I feel like you know how to behave in certain situations to kind of get the best results. And I also feel like you have the ability to like separate yourself from very adverse or like highly charged energies, which is like very useful to you, and it's very self-preserving. It's allowing you to keep your own energy safe and to keep your own kind of sanity safe and away from like whatever may be happening. Again, I feel like it's not something that everyone can very easily do to distance themselves and to distance their emotions from kind of flying off the handle, or reacting to a certain situation when it occurs. But you have the ability to do that. So there is this like higher level energy that I feel for you, definitely with this blessed number 22, which is a master number. I don't know whether I said that, maybe I already did, but yeah, this is definitely a master number, and with this balance number 19 reducing down to 10. So you have some rather important numbers coming out over here, and it does make sense with the Lapis Lazuli stone, which, as I said, feels very divine to me, and like very much like higher level energy. So it feels like you have a very like a very deep connection to that, which is also somewhat of a similar theme that has been going through all of the piles. So yeah, if you have been feeling curious about any of the other piles, you may wish to watch those too and see if anything else resonates for you. But yeah, definitely this feels very nice, very soothing, very calming, and I feel like it's almost like you have mastered your emotions or mastered your impulses, and you kind of have full control over yourself and your behavior and how you express yourself. So it's just very advanced energy, truly. And I don't mean to imply that you are like, you know, fully grown and that you don't have any more healing or any more growing to do. But there is definitely a certain level of like reaching a level of an expert in a way. So yeah, definitely very, very nice and very, very like grown up energy coming through. But let's look at your superpower now more closely. We're going to start off with what your superpower actually is, what makes you special. We're then going to see when or where your superpower most often emerges. And then we're going to see how you can best utilize your superpower to fully express your potential. So let's see. Okay, we have leap. You go first. The universe will catch you. Oh, we have light. Yeah, what was I saying? Definitely like very, very divine and high vibrational energy. And moonchild. Okay. Funny. Let's move on. Oh, we have unbound, releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives. We also have the universe. Okay, you are hitting hard with these major arcanas. And the tower. Okay. Wow. And finally, we have dance with life. Do something to change your energy. We have disruption. Oh, tower coming out twice. And we have Knight of Wands. Okay. So just give me a sec. I'm going to try and line them up in a nice way. So looking at these cards, the first thing I want to say is that I find it really funny that I was talking about like how one of your strengths is the ability for you to see like why something was actually a blessing or why something is actually a positive thing, even if other people only see like the initial shock or the initial panic of a situation. And I find it really funny that energy is coming through so strongly over here, especially in the middle. So I'm actually going to start with that because it is so kind of relevant. The middle section here that we're going to start off with is, as I said, talking about when and where your superpower most often emerges. And with these cards, we have releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives with the universe, which is like the world card, and the tower. So clearly your superpower to like see beyond surface level things, and I'm gonna talk about that in a second here, but it feels like your superpower does come out most often when things are going through radical change, when there are important lessons to be learned or important chapters of life that are closing out and important new chapters that are opening. But mainly it feels like the kind of the initial discomfort and the initial shock of a change is where your energy or where your superpower most often kind of surfaces. Because that's when usually people freak out, right? That's what usually triggers people and causes some sort of reaction in them. And most often it is a negative reaction, because who likes change? Who likes to get ripped out of their comfort zone and put into a whole new environment that they don't know how to control or they don't know how to operate in? So it feels like that's something that you're that really like pushes your superpower to the surface, and that's where you are most easily able to help other people, but also to help yourself deal with the kind of the sudden changes or the ruptures that you may be feeling. or where something needs to be kind of let go and released, right? Because that is not, it's not easy. It's definitely not easy. But that's where your superpower can really shine. And looking at your superpower here with the Leap card, the Light card, and the Moonchild card. So there is definitely a lot of divine energy in all of these cards, definitely. But I feel like there is this, it's like you have the ability to see the light in situations where maybe other people miss it. And I feel like there is this deeper knowing within you with this Moonchild to have faith and trust in the universe, right? With this, you go first, the universe will catch you. It's like you know that that's true. You know that there is a certain like entity that is bigger than you, that is bigger than me, and that is bigger than all of us. There is this more powerful energy that we are a part of, but because it kind of encompasses everything, it sees more than we are able to see. And that's and because it's not something that is part of our physical world, it's not something that we can touch and see and smell and taste and sense. It's something that a lot of people very often lose faith in, or maybe don't have faith in at all. But you have this knowing, or this kind of deeper belief and deeper trust in, and that deeper trust to allow life to kind of follow its course, right? And take you to where you need to go, and believing that there is a bigger plan in place for things, and that the universe is always working for us and never against us, to see that kind of like light at the end of the tunnel, right? Especially when things are kind of seemingly going wrong, on where things are shifting and changing around us and putting us in a very uncomfortable position. You have the ability to see the light there, and again, why it's necessary, why it's actually a blessing. So this deeper wisdom, this deeper knowing that you have, and the ability for you to go with that energy and to go with those feelings and those sensations that you have is truly unique. And again, I feel like it's allowing you to kind of flow through life much more easily than the people who are very much stuck in the physical world only, and who don't have the ability to see beyond that, who don't have the ability to break through those initial reactions and those negative feelings and like ego conflicts that they may be experiencing. But I find it interesting that over here in the last portion of the cards, where we are looking at how you can utilize your superpower to express your full potential, there is so much of this like change over here too, and it makes me kind of feel like what Spirit is urging you to do here is to seek out adventure for yourself more than you maybe currently are, because it looks as though you are fully equipped to kind of face anything, really. Especially with this flexibility, it seems like you are able to adapt to really any circumstances, and you're able to come out on top and work your way through whatever you are facing or being put up against, right? So knowing that you're able to overcome and like any of those challenging situations, and knowing that you are able to perceive some deeper truths and force through them and not even force through them, but what I want to say is like elevate above them, is what is allowing you to also try out more of these new things in your own life. Because even though you are able to do that, you may kind of feel very comfortable in like just going with the flow of life and rolling with the punches as they come. But what Spirit is urging you to do here is to kind of maybe take a more, how should I say, it's asking you to take more initiative yourself, to go seeking out new experiences and new circumstances, and allowing yourself to be in these new and possibly like initially uncomfortable positions or situations first, right? To have more fun, really, to have more fun and to experiment with life more. Because again, I feel like you are so well equipped for that. Your superpower is what is allowing you to push through these situations of like discomfort and uncertainty with flying colors. You have that ability, so why not use it to the fullest and kind of create your own tower moments, right? To shake up your life and to shake up your kind of everyday routines and go after the adventures yourself and see what happens and see what you experience. So honestly, this is really, really cool. This is such a cool reading, and I feel like your superpower is again like a very, very unique one, definitely. I mean, and I know that all of the superpowers that we have been talking about in this reading, in all of the piles, have been unique. But I feel like yours is definitely something that almost allows you to live life to the fullest, more than a lot of the other people who are not allowing themselves to maybe live the kind of life that they want to live simply because they are afraid of change, or because they don't want to go through the uncomfortable feelings of getting used to something new or learning something new and really putting themselves to the test in unfamiliar circumstances. Yeah, wow. What a reading, pile number 4. If you resonated with this at all, I would love to know. You can leave me a comment in the comment section or give me a thumbs up. And definitely don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, because I would love to hang out with you in the future as well. But honestly, have fun out there, go and explore, go and have adventures and seek out new and exciting things in life, and I feel like you will just have an absolute blast. But yeah, thank you for watching this, and please take care of yourselves. If I don't see you in any of the other piles, then I wish you all the best, and I hope to see you very soon in one of my next readings. Bye bye.